Ah yeah, today we're learning English with BTS's Jungkook, one of the biggest global superstars right now.
It's the way that we can ride, it's the way that we can ride. We can match you in another life, so break me up another time. You wrap around me and you give me life, and that's why night after night I've been loving you right. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Every hour, every minute, every second, you know, night after night I'll be loving you right.
We just heard his hit song 7, so let's check out some of the advanced English expressions he used. First off, devotion is deep love and complete dedication to someone. Wind it back means to go back and replay something, like rewinding a video. In the song, it means slowing things down and really savoring the moment. And afterglow is the warm, pleasant feeling that remains after a wonderful experience. Your face might literally glow afterwards. Now, we'll look a bit at how Jungkook's English has evolved over the years, from only being able to say a word or two to being able to fully answer interview questions. As an English teacher with over 14 years of experience, I'll react to each one, sharing with you what he's doing well, where he can improve, and how you can apply this to your own English learning journey. And plus, you're going to learn a ton of new words. Speaking of which, if you ever get frustrated because you don't have the words that you need when you speak, as we'll see happens often even to Jungkook, let me share something really helpful with you. It's the magic flashcards on our real life app. These make remembering and confidently using expressions like devotion, wind it back, and afterglow effortless. Get them for free with the link in the description below, and never forget today's new expressions. All right, so in honor of Jungkook's hit song 7, I'm going to react to and teach you with 7 clips of him speaking English. Okay, now let's check out a very brief clip early in Jungkook's learning journey in 2019, where he attempted to speak English for ARMY.
I want more talking well.
All right, so we saw very little from him, and he already made an error here. So he said, I want more talking well, which it should actually be, I want to speak better. So it's actually quite confusing because speak and talk, some learners might not know when to use them, but when we talk about languages, we say speak languages, not talk languages. You talk with someone in a language, for example. But what is he doing well here? We can see he's not nervous at all. He's just being very playful. He's having fun with it. There's something that we say a lot as part of our real life way methodology, which is how we teach English here at Real Life English, which is connection, not perfection. So it's more important that you're making an effort to communicate your ideas and you're having errors, you're making mistakes, than it is that you are able to speak perfectly, but you never actually open your mouth because you have way too much pressure, you're way too nervous to do so. All right, let's fast forward a bit and see a useful tool that Jungkook employs for his fluency.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Betty butter, bitter, better, butter to make a bitter butter better.
Okay, so the tool that he's using here are tongue twisters, and these are actually great for pronunciation. Something I was a bit surprised about is that here, at least, he's using more British pronunciation, as we can see in the Betty bought a bit of better butter to make her bitter batter better, if I'm not mistaken, because an American would say all those T's, they're called American T's or tap T's, which sounds more like a duh. So it'd be Betty bought a bit of better butter to make her bitter batter better. You can see the pronunciation is completely different. And this really reminds me of a scene that I absolutely love from the show Modern Family. Maybe we could just check out a quick clip from there, where Gloria is trying to use this same tongue twister to improve her pronunciation, but she's not quite as successful as Jungkook.
Betty butter bitter booty, but the booty bitter.
And again, I think a really great thing we can see here from Jungkook, where he's on stage in front of an entire audience, but he's just having fun, he's playing with it, he's mixing in his skills at rapping to improve his pronunciation with tongue twisters. So if you want to improve your English using tongue twisters, obviously you can find tons of these online. And what I would recommend, especially if you can find an audio of someone saying it, is to practice saying it a lot of times and then record yourself and compare it to someone else. Or, you can just practice it and listen to yourself saying it, and you probably can already tell if you're making mistakes or not. You can see, even for me as a native, it is difficult to say tongue twisters, but practice makes perfect. Now in our next clip, you'll see that Jungkook's knowledge of English expressions has advanced a lot. Check it out.
It's a blessing. We can get so much love for doing what we love to do.
So you can see Jungkook is still speaking slow, but he's putting himself out there so that he can show his appreciation to his fans. Let's check out a couple of those advanced expressions that he used here.
It's a blessing.
So first of all, he says it's a blessing. We use this expression when we want to show our gratitude for something that almost seems too good to be true. You might use this to talk about something that makes your life better or that brings you joy. So you might say, having such a supportive family is really a blessing. Or having a job that I love is just a blessing.
We can get so much love for doing what we love to do.
And use this expression, doing what we love to do. Basically, it means that you are following your passion, especially if you're working in something or competing in something that you're really passionate about. In fact, there's a popular saying that goes, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. The idea is that when you're passionate about something, it doesn't feel like work at all. It feels like fun. All right, let's watch another clip where we can hear Jungkook speaking a bit more and reminiscing about the early days of BTS.
Before BTS existed, what did you want to be? Jungkook, how about you?
My dream was pro gamer.
First impressions. What did you think of each other when you first got together?
I saw RM.
Yeah?
And then I thought
What do you think of him?
he was amazing.
Thank you, but Jungkook, when I first saw him, I was only wearing the underwear.
You were only wearing underwear?
In the house. In my home. What? And he came like, I'm the new member. And I was like only wearing the
only underwear.
panties and yeah, that was the first impression.
Do you remember the first time you ever performed in front of a crowd, and what was that like?
It was our debut showcase. They were about 200 to 300 people.
300 people.
I still can never forget it. Everything happened so fast and it was overwhelming. And I cried after the show.
You did?
Yeah. Everyone.
All right, so there we heard from both Jungkook and from RM. And obviously we can see that RM has a lot more naturality and a lot more fluency when he speaks than Jungkook, probably because he has a lot more practice. But we could see Jungkook using some good vocabulary, and we're going to break that down. So practice is super important. For me, fluency in every one of the 6 languages that I've learned has required me speaking a lot at every opportunity that I could find. From watching tons of videos of Jungkook speaking English in preparation for this lesson, it's really awesome to see that he has a lot of courage speaking even in front of big groups of people. But it's very obvious too that he needs to spend a lot more time speaking. In most interviews, for example, he does a great job with his English, but under pressure, he still tends to fall back on his Korean. And I've heard from thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of English learners just like you over the years that have said that you don't have anyone to speak to. And this is exactly why we created the global chat on our Real Life English app, which is the only place where anytime, anywhere, you can have a dynamic 4 to 8 minute conversation at just the touch of a button. And if it's too much pressure for you to speak to another person right now, that's fine. We're actually developing right now an AI coach, which premium users will be able to use to have conversations. And after every conversation, you'll get detailed feedback telling you everything that you need to do to improve. So get free access to the flashcards for this Jungkook lesson and the Global Speak by simply clicking that link down in the description below.
Before BTS existed,
What did you want to be? Jungkook, how about you?
My dream was
pro gamer.
All right, so first let's check out some grammar. Jungkook said, my dream was pro gamer. So we would need here another verb, either was to be a pro gamer or was to become a pro gamer. Otherwise, we don't have any connection.
When I first saw him, I was only wearing the underwear.
You were only wearing underwear?
In the house. In my home. What? And he came like, I'm the new member. And I was like only wearing the underwear. Panties and...
So when Ara mentions that he was only wearing underwear, he's referring to undergarments. That's the clothes that you wear under your other clothes. And he might have heard me laugh later when he said that he was only wearing panties. Now, panties, that is a type of underwear, but it specifically is a women's underwear. But I thought we'd take advantage to look at some different names and different types of underwear that you could encounter. Really important if you want to go shopping in English, right? So underwear or underpants are general terms for all undergarments. However, something that can be confusing is that in British English, they just say pants, which for us, pants are what British people would call trousers. So definitely depending on which English you're learning or which place you're planning to travel to, make sure you get the right term. Boxers are loose-fitting men's underwear. They're almost like shorts. Whereas briefs are tighter, more fitted men's underwear. A slang you might hear is whitey tighties. Now, this refers to white briefs, but it's pretty jokey or even childish. And finally, you have thongs or a G-string, which is women's underwear that has very little fabric.
Do you remember the first time you ever performed in front of a crowd, and what was that like?
So we heard Jimmy use this word crowd. Now, that's a large gathering of people in one place. You might see crowds at a concert, at a sporting event, at a protest, or any sort of public gathering. And let me share some related expressions that you could use. So you could say that a restaurant, for example, was really crowded. That means that it was really filled with people. So in that case, we're using it as an adjective. You might also hear of crowd surfing. This is when concert goers pass someone over their heads. You might also hear the expression drawing a crowd, which means that it is attracting a lot of people. So for example, maybe a really cool new store opens in your town, and that might draw a crowd to its opening.
And what was that like?
It was our debut showcase.
So a showcase is a special event or performance meant to show off someone's talents, products, or achievements. It's basically an opportunity to show what you can do. And he called this a debut showcase. So that's the first time that an artist or group performs publicly for fans and media.
They were about 200 to 300 people.
300 people.
I still can never forget it. Everything happened so fast and it was overwhelming.
And Jungkook says that their journey with BTS has been overwhelming. This means that something is so intense or there's so much of it that it's hard to handle. And it can be both positive or negative. You might feel overwhelmed by too much work or responsibility, strong emotions like joy, sadness, or stress, a huge crowd or a loud environment, or information overload. All right, so fast forwarding to 2023 when Jungkook started his solo career, we'll see that his English has improved a lot. So let's watch this interview where he's presenting his new single, 7.
Now, this is the first time you've been back in the UK since BTS headlined Wembley back in 2019. How does it feel to be back?
It's good to be back in the UK. I have been waiting to perform the 7 for my fans. Thank you all for coming and watching.
What can we expect from you as a solo artist?
A whole new Jungkook. I want to try many different styles with my own voice. Please look forward to what comes next.
Well, you've just released your new solo single, 7, which you're going to be performing for us live at the end of the program. Can you tell us a bit about it?
7 is a fun summer song in the UK garage sound. I love the melody and the vibe of the song. I hope many people enjoy it as much as I do.
All right, obviously that was a big improvement compared to what we've seen so far because he was fully able to answer in English. He didn't fall back onto his Korean. He formed full sentences. I didn't notice many grammar mistakes, and he used some great vocabulary that we're going to look at. So let's jump right in.
What can we expect from you as a solo artist?
A whole new Jungkook.
So first, he said whole new. This is a really nice collocation, meaning that something is completely new or totally different. So basically, he's saying that he wants to reveal a part of himself that people haven't seen before just as a member of BTS. And let me give you an example. The iPhone opened up a whole new world of possibilities.
I want to try many different styles with my own voice. Please look forward to what comes next.
Jungkook also said that fans should look forward to what's coming next. So if you look forward to something, you're basically excited for it to happen. An important grammar note with this, just so you don't make a mistake, is that after look forward to, you need either a noun or a gerund, not an infinitive. So you could say, I'm looking forward to the concert, or I'm looking forward to seeing you, but you shouldn't say, I'm looking forward to see you.
7 is a fun summer song in the UK garage sound.
All right, and Jungkook mentioned the style of the song, which he called UK garage sound. I wanted to point out here that there's a difference between British and American pronunciation when we say this word. So an American, like myself, would say garage, but a British person would say garage. All right, so pay attention to those differences and make sure you're using the right one depending on if you're wanting to have an American accent or a British accent.
I love the melody and the vibe of the song.
And Jungkook said that he loves the vibe of the song. So that's the atmosphere, the energy, or the feeling of something. So the vibe of a song like 7 is not just how it sounds, but how it makes you feel. Let's look at a couple more examples. This place has a good vibe, which you could use for like a restaurant or a bar that has a nice atmosphere. I'm not vibing with this, meaning that something doesn't quite click with you, it doesn't fit with you, or it gives you a bad feeling. You could say about another person, we're vibing. It means that you have a good connection, good chemistry. If someone invites you to like a party or an event, you could ask, what's the vibe? Meaning, what's the plan? What kind of event is it? And so on. And our last two clips come from a recent interview that Jungkook did with Jimmy Fallon. Let's watch.
You really make it sound like I'm a huge global pop star.
All right, so I just wanted to first focus on this super short part here. He did a really great job, but there was one word there that I think could be difficult for people to understand. All right, so his pronunciation of the L was a bit off there. So I'm sure in Korean, it's a sound that doesn't exist, especially this L at the end, which is called a dark L, like in world, for example, or fall. It's actually a sound that's pronounced at the back of the throat, whereas the first L, glow, it's pronounced at the front, behind the teeth, la 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 la. So they're two different sounds, and this dark L doesn't exist in most languages. So one tip I would give you here is to actually find out what sounds exist in English that do not exist in your native language, and really focus on nailing being able to both hear and speak these sounds. If you focus on the hearing it first, so for example, being able to tell the difference between a dark L and a true L, then it's also going to be easier for you to produce it. You really can't produce a sound until you're actually able to hear it. And usually when it's a sound that doesn't exist in our native language, we can't even really hear it. This happens, for example, with Americans who are learning Spanish, that we don't have like the R that is in Spanish, like the r or the rolling R. And so Americans will, especially because we focus so much on reading, will hear an R, but we'll just hear, we'll like in our mind think of it as like a r, like in American English, when they're two completely different sounds. The mechanics of them are completely different. So until you can actually hear in Spanish that r or r sounds, you're not going to be able to produce them yourself. All right, and our last clip is another clip from that same interview, as I said, so let's have a watch.
But I heard that you like making your own pizza.
Pizza, yeah.
Yeah?
I like
pizza, but I didn't like leftovers. So
I was like, cold pizza, no good.
So Jungkook is really, really adorable here. As you can see, his English isn't perfect, but people still find him really endearing, meaning that they feel really drawn to him because he's just, you know, able to have fun with it. He's playful. He's not getting really in his head or anxious or frustrated when he makes mistakes and so on. He's just enjoying the ride, right? And that's why we love him. And this whole interview with Jimmy was super fun, so I highly recommend that you check that out. We can link it down in the description for you to check out. It's a good challenge for your English, and also if you speak Korean as well, which I do not. And by the way, we made this lesson with Jungkook because you guys actually asked for it. And we really depend on your feedback to make lessons that you'll enjoy and that will be helpful for you in reaching your fluency goals. So I would really appreciate it if you could take just one moment to pause the video and leave a comment below with at least one series, movie, or celebrity that you would love for us to make a lesson with. It'd be a big help, and me and the real life team read every single comment. All right, now let's look at the vocabulary he used here. Really great word that he used that we Americans love, leftovers.
I didn't like leftovers, so
leftovers is food that generally is left over, it remains from a meal. So maybe you'll go over to your mom's house and you're like, oh, I'm hungry, is there anything to eat? She might say, oh, there's some leftovers from dinner in the fridge. Also, if you go to the United States, one thing that always shocks me when I go back home, being that I live in Barcelona, is that restaurants have really big portions. So pretty much, I can never finish them. And so if you are in a restaurant and maybe you only ate half your meal, they might say, do you want to take the leftovers home? And I've got a doggy here, so that reminds me that oftentimes we'll call this a doggy bag. Like, do you want to take a doggy bag? I guess it's like as if you were taking the food home for your dog, but it's just a common way to say to take the leftovers home. Or you could also hear it called a to-go box.
so
I was like, cold pizza, no good.
yeah.
And then I really love Jimmy's next question, which is cold pizza, no good? So this is a really casual way to say that something is bad, not acceptable, or doesn't work. It's simple and direct. So let's look at some examples. This plan is no good. It means it won't work. He's no good. It means he's a bad person. You should be careful or maybe not trust him. Or my phone is no good anymore, meaning that it's broken or it needs to be replaced. All right, I hope that you've had a lot of fun learning with Jungkook. And now comes the most important part. Let's test your comprehension by watching all 7 clips again without subtitles. And I'm going to make it an extra challenge for you by asking you some quiz questions. Let's go.
I want more talking well.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Betty butter, bitter, better, butter to make a bitter butter better.
It's a
Fill in the blank. Getting to travel the world and meet new people through my job is such a blessing.
It's a blessing. We can get so much love for doing what we love to do.
Before BTS existed,
What did you want to be? Jungkook, how about you?
My dream was pro gamer.
First impressions. What did you think of each other when you first got together?
I saw RM.
Yeah?
And then I thought
What do you think of him?
he was amazing.
thank you, but Jungkook, when I first saw him, I was only wearing the underwear.
Which of these is not traditionally a type of men's underwear? Boxers, panties, whitey tighties.
You were only wearing
I mean,
underwear?
in the house. In my home. What? And he came like, I'm the new member. And I was like only wearing the
only underwear.
panties and yeah, that was the first impression.
Do you remember the first time you ever performed in front of a crowd, and what was that like?
It was our debut showcase. They were about 200 to 300 people.
300 people.
I still can never forget it. Everything happened so fast and it was overwhelming. And I cried after the show. You did? Yeah.
Now, this is the first time you've been back in the UK since BTS headlined Wembley back in 2019. How does it feel to be back?
It's good to be back in the UK. I have been waiting to perform the 7 for my fans. Thank you all for coming and watching.
What can we expect from you as a solo artist?
A whole new Jungkook. I want to try many different styles with my own voice. Please look forward to.
Saying, I look forward to see you soon is grammatically correct.
Or what comes next?
Well, you've just released your new solo single, 7, which you're going to be performing for us live at the end of the program. Can you tell us a bit about it?
7 is a fun summer song in the UK garage sound. I love the melody and the vibe of the song. I hope many people enjoy it as much as I do.
You really make it sound like I'm a huge global pop star.
Yeah, this helped. Yes. But also, I heard that you like making your own pizza.
Pizza, yeah.
Yeah?
I like pizza, but I didn't like leftovers.
What would you say if someone offered you food that you don't like or that doesn't appeal to you?
So,
Oh, it's like cold pizza, no good.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I hope that you had a lot of fun learning with Jungkook today. It was the first sort of reaction video like this that we did. So if you enjoyed it and you want me to react to more non-native English-speaking celebrities, then be sure to let us know down in the comments, and you can even tell us who you would like us to do a lesson like this with. And if it's your goal to be able to understand fast-speaking natives without getting lost, without missing the jokes, and without subtitles, well, we're helping tens of millions of learners to do it every single week. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button and the bell down below, and that way you won't miss a single new lesson. And if you enjoy learning with Jungkook, then I'm sure you're going to enjoy this other lesson that we did recently with RM.
Technically, there would be 2 ways. It could be started from a keyword like flower words or just a simple melody, but usually it starts from a keyword like, yo, what do I gotta say, what do I want to say, or there's a beautiful track and then the track calls the melodies and keywords. But usually I think I start with